Hello, welcome to Inside Haiku Apps.
Oh, my favorite audience, my fellow haiku-nauts. Last time we looked at the haiku character map and it works fine. But there is an alternative, and this will introduce you to the other systems that are available on Haiku. Because we last few years have seen a lot of ported programs, and we can't ignore them. There is a bigger world out there, and you might even prefer them. So, there are basically three kinds of other programs that we can run on Haiku. They are GTK, which I think stands for the GNU Toolkit. I'm not sure, but I think so. Then there is KDE applications, which run on the Qt framework. So I'm going to handle those together. So some of those will be pure Qt, others will be KDE. But for our purposes, they are in one setup. So, and the third one is Java applications. So, what I've done, and let me just drag this in here. I used to do everything on this virtual machine, but now I've created some more. One on which I'll only be putting Java apps, one for Qt and one for GTK. And there's a final one on which I've loaded all the browsers that are available on Haiku. And that way we can just keep things a little clean. All right, so I'm now going to show you how to install the GTK alternative to the Haiku character map, and we're doing it on this machine here. Okay, so next time you see me talking about a native app, and then don't be surprised if the GTK version is no longer on here. Okay, so that's a bit of housekeeping. Let's go to Haiku Depot. So the first thing I did before we even started was to install the actual GTK3 framework. Okay, some people are not going to be happy with me calling it a framework, but I think for our present purposes that's close enough. And while I was doing that, I took a still photograph, and you can see how many dependencies it had. I didn't want you to sit through all that and me desperately trying to say something to pass the time. So that has been loaded. You don't have to do that separately. The first time you try to install a GTK program, it'll tell you I need all of those dependencies. Makes it a little easier for us though. Okay, so the program we are looking for is called GU CharacterMap. I don't know why there's no N in there. Surely it should have been GNU CharacterMap. I don't know. Okay, let's install that. wants just one other dependency, just not bad. Mind you, it is a fairly big bundle here. So this is our first non-native, no, it's not our first non-native applications. Last year around Christmas we did install 2 non-native browsers. Yeah, but those were desktop environment independent, and so you'd expect them to look a little strange. Let's see how close to a native Haiku app we can get with a GTK application. And we are done. Let's see if it shows up. Where are you? And it looks like this one has a problem. It did not install itself in the taskbar. That's a bit of a bummer. Okay, whoever the maintainer of this application is, please, let's see you do it. Fix that, please. Okay, let's close this down and see if we can call it up from the terminal. There we go. Okay, and as you can see, we call up the native one, then you see, so the people who port these things, they try their best, really they do. Yeah, to make these non-native apps look as native as possible. But let's face it, you're not always going to succeed with that. Alright, so it's got a similar, let's see what similar appearance, similar, well, the organization has to be similar. Let's try it by Unicode block. Ah, that's pretty much what we see over here. Basic Latin, Latin 1 supplement, and there's a few missing. Alright, let's see, are there any other settings? Doesn't look like it. Here you can choose the font you want to use. Let's make this a little smaller. Okay, let's see how we go about using it. We call up a text editor. Now you remember that in this one, all we had to do was drag things across. Or you could go via the clipboard, whichever you prefer. Let's make that big so we can see what's happening. Okay, close this one down. Now let's try that from here. And nope, it doesn't work. So you have to double click it, copy, and paste. Now what you may expect to see if you install a GTK text editor, then the interaction between the two might be smoother. You know, if they've thought about it when they wrote it. See, but so far I am not seeing that this is more convenient for us than the native solution. Okay, so that is how you install and use the GTK character map. Now it won't be too difficult to get this onto the applications. You know, you can just, let's close this here. Don't save. Close this down. Oops, and it crashes on exit. Not good. Okay, we go here, config, settings, desk bar, menu. Okay, so here you make a thing called applications, a folder called applications, and in that you create a shell script and call it GNU character map, or whatever you like, alternative character map. So far our encounter with GTK applications hasn't been that great. It did crash, but it did wait until we closed it down before it crashed, so it's not the end of the world. And it doesn't integrate as smoothly with Haiku native apps. All of that is things that the people who port these things can work on. They can make it look more Haiku-like, by working on the theme. They can make sure it doesn't crash on exit. And, whether they can make it drop and drag, well, that is a bit more work, I would say. Okay, so thanks for watching. We have now installed our first GTK application. There is a similar program for KDE. It's called K-Car Select. I'm not seeing that in the Haiku Depot collection. So I guess that hasn't been ported yet. But maybe it's just hidden somewhere in some other package and we'll come across it. If we do, we'll make a similar video about that. Have a great day.